The end is nigh. But first, let us go over the recent event which we announced and go over the happenings in that event. So first, I'd like to start off by saying Zen is also in this video with me. And also, I'd like to secondly go off and say that I'd like to thank everyone that came into view. I definitely noticed that we had a large viewer count, consistent viewer count throughout the whole event, compared to our usual amount at least, as well as the people who actually turned up. It was a great success, and we'd like to thank everyone who turned up. Would you like to say anything, Zen?
Hi.
Well, as you guys have heard, this is Zen. He says hi to you guys, but other than that, not really sure what I'm babbling about right now. So let's move on. I'd like to thank Ferravora, I guess, firstly, because he took pity on me and my two people in my FC and joined it, and I think that definitely led to my team's, I guess, victory at the end. So spoiler alert, in case you didn't know, but Team Can in the end.
Wait, that's what the video is about. There is no spoiler.
Yeah, that's true actually. Team Can in the whole year did actually win 4-2, even though Zen did
That
put
hurts
up a
me.
fearsome fight. And you say it hurts you, but it was in no way down to skill. It was purely down to luck. I definitely know that your team did so many more kills than my team, but my team just were stronger with the RNG was stronger in us, I guess is what you could say.
Yeah.
And let's go over the event as a whole, I guess, for those of you that didn't actually attend or watch.
Yes, the first thing that happened was that I was late, as usual.
Forgot about that.
I made pasta, guys. I made pasta. It took about an hour for the water to boil on the pan. That was the first time I made pasta in about 6 months. Anyway, that's beside the point. And then I had to go to shower, so I was late by about 40 minutes. And then I started the stream. We had a massive turnout for Team Zen. Not so much for Team Can, unfortunately, but we did manage to get the first mole drop almost at the same time.
Yeah, we did. But to be honest, with regards to Team Can, that is what you can expect for not being active for months. You're not really going to get that many people turning up.
And people turned up on my team more because they took pity on me because they wanted me to win and for it to go to a tiebreaker.
I really don't think so. I think you're more of a people PVM with you quite often, and they know you. You are known as Zen the
I know
Savior.
one person that betrayed me, which led to several people betraying me, including my own team members, who would join me later on at some of the more interesting bosses, shall we say, but managed to go to your side because you were doing those interesting bosses before I was.
I don't think so, Zen. I think the people. No. We had quite a small player base since our largest player base or people in our team was right at the start when both of us had quite a few people. So
Right,
I don't think anyone defected over to my side if that's what you're saying. But
they did for like KK and stuff. Like
KK, we had 4 people.
Some other, I don't know which ones. I don't know.
Okay.
Toby definitely hopped over to yours. For that.
Toby, man, Toby, he's a troll. I think he might have been the cause of my death at KK. He was just coming in, dropping random items on the floor, then leaving for no reason. And he was hitting KK at times, and then just hit KK, moved along with him. God knows, Toby /ban Toby M is all I'm gonna say. But let's get along with the event.
Anyway, moving on to the second. So DKs, Can got 2 really quickly, didn't you?
Yes.
2 warrior rings.
Things started off bad for Team Zen as Team Can quickly dropped 2 warrior rings, and they were both 24 warrior ring shards. While Team Zen had what? Did you get a mud?
We got mud battle stuff reasonably early on, and then we didn't get anything for a fair amount of time.
Yeah.
And then we got another mud battle stuff, and finally a dragon hatchet. So we moved on to Armadillo, and Can was still stuck there at one point with 3 people, I believe.
I wasn't stuck at Armadillo. We were still
Not
stuck
Armadillo.
at
DKs. That's
Yeah,
I
we
was
were
at DKs. You were at Armadillo.
We were still
I was
stuck at
at Armadillo.
DKs.
You were at DKs. Yeah.
We got a few troll drops like DDSs. We got all kinds of
Don't
battle
talk to me
staffs.
about trolls. That will come later on, guys. I'm gonna rage so hard. But
We got all kinds of troll drops like battle staffs, DDS. I think we got DDSs, other than the mud battle staffs, of course, and just a load of different not quite unique items at DK's. We
Yeah.
got a Ring of Life. Straight after Justice got his Perdix Cowl drop, so damn it, that didn't count.
Yeah.
But that also, I think, has the same chance of being dropped as a Berserker Ring and things like that. I know this from the Boaty escapade. I say escapades, adventures. But eventually, we did manage to get a Mud Battle Staff. We being Ferravora, of course.
Yeah.
And we moved on to the next boss, which was
Wait, no. I thought I died at armor. That's why you moved on to armor, I believe.
Nope.
And, oh,
we
okay.
got a Mud Battle Staff.
Oh yeah, you moved on. So I died. No,
Yeah.
I didn't die. Wait,
You did die.
I was at low LP. First, I tellied out because I didn't want to risk it. I was at low LP, and about 2 kills after that, my team got Armadillo boots, and that was the turning point. I don't think there's any question that that was definitely the turning point of the entire event.
I think the sad thing is that was a turning point that couldn't really be helped. If you had stayed on, you would have died. Otherwise, I mean,
unless someone
would have
got
still
me
got the
food or
drop.
something, or
Yeah.
traded me really quickly, which happened the second time. So I tried to trade someone really quickly. I didn't want it happening again. The same incident where I tellied and missed the Armadillo boots drop, because one of the rules was that the team leader has to be there when the drop was there, and so I didn't want that to happen again. So I risked it, traded someone. Armadillo spawned too quickly. One banged me, and that was the end of that. Can got even further ahead. He went to Sarah Domin while I was still stuck at Armadillo.
Yeah. And then I got a Saradomin sword while Zen was still stuck at Armadillo.
That was the longest time I was stuck at a boss, which was about 3 hours at Armadillo. Finally, we got another Armadillo boots, but by that time, Can was way ahead, weren't you?
I already got a Bandos War Shield, I think, as well as a Gown of Subjugation, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Not sure. I think I was at... Was I at next when you got your armor item at last?
You guys were at next. And when I got my armor item, so I was like 3 behind. I was getting severely annoyed at my luck. And Can was severely happy about his luck, I guess. But it's good. It's good that he got the drops, because less people, bigger splits, happy people, I guess.
And then I got... I think on my 3rd next kill, I managed to get Virtus Gloves.
How do you do this, man?
I have no clue. You know, guys, in the actual DTEMB kills, when we did them,
What did you
I went 100 kills dry when I was the DPS. Nothing. And then Zen went... Within the first few kills, we'd gotten an item.
We got back to back as well.
Yeah, we got back to back. So... Out of events, my luck at PVM is terrible. When it comes to events, it looks like that's my forte. And I got quite a lot. We then went to Corp. I'm not sure if you'd gotten a drop by this point, but we got...
I think we got that Armadillo boots, and then we went to Sarah. I don't know when you guys got the Corp drop.
Yeah.
But at Sarah, we were reasonably lucky, because within 14 kills, we got the Sarah sword, the same one you got.
Yeah.
However, we had about 10 times more people, because everyone left at armor because it was getting too monotonous, but everyone rejoined at Sarah. And I definitely think the hard mode idea was a massive success. I don't know about you. I would have found it extremely boring to do easy mode.
Yeah, it definitely gave us something to talk about on stream, which was really the main the main.
And it was funny how you had no clue what to do.
I went to it having no clue. Yeah, I basically asked my team members what. I say team members. I also asked Zen about what to do.
Why did I help you? Damn it.
To be fair, I did get trolled quite a lot. Well, we trolled each other saying get range for things like...
Actually, it wasn't too much of a problem for my team because we had so many people. But I guess it would have been for you.
Yeah, our team... I'd like to say... I'd like to admit, actually, Gothic's for Armadillo had an uber strategy where everyone stood at the door, inside the door frame, and for most of the time, we didn't really get hit. But there would be times where you'd hear us screaming, or you'd hear me screaming. Suddenly, three quarters of our HP would be dropped in an instant, and then the rest would be bled down, and we'd have to constantly spam me. There was a point where I was spamming X because my food was bound to X, and my HP was not moving. I was being constantly hit at the same rate that I was eating. It's like,
How did he not die?
He just stopped eventually,
Yeah.
but. Yeah, I think someone died. A few people died due to that. Me being me, keeping my HP at 10k most of the time, only really got my HP down to 3k at most. So lucky that. But
Yeah, that's
at
good.
Corp, at Corp, I've got say Screeny, a picture of this of my phone because I didn't figure out how to Screeny in
He
Linux.
he
Yeah,
called Ibadoodle the
I
holy elixir.
bedoodled the Elixir.
Yeah.
So that screening will never fail to make me laugh. I said, Badoodle, you have received 13 gold charms. You have received one holy elixir.
And it was
I'll do
cans
it to you.
drop. What are the
Yeah.
chances of that?
Lol, OMG, it worked. Yes, it did. And we moved on to KK. Now, this
Yeah.
is where the sad story
And
begins.
my fairly happy story begins. So he was at KK. I believe I was at Bandos, and I had a massive dry streak there, and kind of managed to die at KK due to some massively unlucky spawns of orange balls, I believe. Uh,
Yeah, I think what happened was when I made the instance, I just made the max number of people, not realizing that that actually affected the spawn rate of bombs, and I think minions as well, something like that. So there would be constantly a huge wave of bombs, even though the team was a four-man team for all of it, really, except for the last 10 minutes or so. Um, it was a four-man team, and as a result of it, I died once. I got literally one shot from 9k HP from with these bombs, and it was a terrible, terrible stain upon my record of not
but it was
dying.
a massive boon for us because I don't think we could have got any Bandos drops that day. We got almost 100 kills. I counted it because I had no hard mode kills at Bandos before this, and by the end
Yep.
of it, I had 80 odd. So that was really painful. So thank you, Ken, for that. And then we went to Zami. I believe we got the gown pretty quickly, and then we went to Corp, and we spent a lot of time, but we did finally get that holy elixir.
Yeah, but before that, me and my team did manage. We do. I think Ferravora recruited some people for KK in the last 10 minutes for a mass, and we managed. It was still less than you had in yours. It was. I think it was about 6, 7 people, and then we managed. Not that he recruited in total that we had, and then we got an offhand Drygore longsword. Really, I
Yeah,
say really. We just
it
got
was
an offhand
it
Drygore
was
longsword.
the most underrated response or reaction to a drop I've ever seen on stream.
It
I
was
had
just.
no idea you got it.
Yes, finally, really. Let's move on. That was literally all it was.
Yeah,
We've been there for 2 hours, nothing, and we finally just happy to get this.
yeah,
Literally, Ferravoro, what he said, what he wrote in chat, you can see this on the screen, was bye straight after the
yeah.
split.
So
After that,
by
so
that point, I was one behind Cam. So I really did catch up, didn't I? I was
yeah,
at KK at
you
this
made a
point.
huge comeback by this point.
And you were at Rots. Now, I was doing really well at KK. I was safing up. I wasn't really at risk because I wasn't doing any rolls. But unfortunately, my good friend Vincent was tanking for 1 kill because the tank died. Now, I didn't really want him to die, and no one else voked. I waited about 2 seconds. And I did everything perfectly. I voked, I put devotion on, and I turned on protect melee. So I was happy. I was smiling. Yes, I didn't fail. And then like half a second before KK one-shots me, my prayer dropped to 0. And my reaction was the most agonizing, the most painful reaction ever.
When
I
it's in
couldn't
the
believe
moment,
it.
you really feel it. It's like, oh, I could have avoided this.
Yeah.
But
If I
I,
looked at my prayer, oh my god.
I
And
definitely know what you mean because in the KK kills, I was taking so many risks. I had to. We didn't really have a tank. One of the DPSs was not attacking the minion ever. And I say one of the DPSs, we had a heal Voker, a tank, which wasn't me, a DPS, and then me. Now, I was killing the minions all of the time. The tank would occasionally die. The heal Voker, just a couple of times died. It's not really that bad. DPS was just DPS in KK all the time. So I would have to occasionally, when the KK actually went on Farah being the heal Voker, I had to quickly switch to shield, Voke it. Obviously, my adrenaline bar was not at max, so with the minions for most of the time being out there, I had to resonance at the right time. Now, thankfully, I've had quite a lot of experience with that in masses at the start of KK, and I managed to perfect it. And
yeah.
at the last
So
second,
you were the better KKer. I wasn't taking any risks, and I still managed to die. However, you only died once because of some BS.
yes,
But anyway, moving on. I think that made Can skip Rots. He did die several times at Rots, but fortunately for him, he didn't die first or second.
I died twice.
Oh, okay.
The problem, I think the first time it was a couple of people on the other side, maybe. The second time, one person on the other side died. The other person hopped over to our side. It then went shadow phase. I was safing up all the time, and then the other person died. I think it might have been bombs. So with double damage, that's quite understandable, to be honest.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have that rule, damn it. But anyway, yeah, Can didn't die, but unfortunately my death at KK did allow him to move on to a Virago. Now, this is where the fun started. I had no chance. I was actually talking to Can on stream about how I was how I had no chance. So when you're done, can you come to my team? We'll just have a bit of a laugh because I don't want to give up. And I really didn't think much of continuing or even attempting to win. But what happened next was something I didn't expect. So I believe Can got PK'd by his team.
His team, man. It was a good team, I'll give you that. But there was a problem with this team, my friend. It was that they would randomly decide, hey, you know what we'll do? This is a reflect. Well, whoever it is, unlucky for them, no clue who it is, whoever it is, they're getting PK'd. And that, unfortunately, fell on me twice, which I was at 3 kills by this point, and I got PK'd twice. So Zen had actually got a boost up to Virago.
No, up to Rots.
Wait.
This
no,
was
I
your
died
first
once.
death. Yeah, first death.
You were KK. My first death, you went to Rots.
Yeah.
Just like next kill.
Yeah, before I went to Rots, I had one moment which really just deflated me completely. And that moment was when Wildman, 18U, the trimmed comper, one of our good friends, walks in, right? You can see the footage, I've highlighted it and I'll put it on now. He walks in just after coming from work or something, attacks KK for a few seconds. KK greens someone, he evokes, he doesn't get diversion in time, he signs, and then about 20 seconds after he walked into the fight, the drop he gets all the drops for that KK kill, and the drop is shield left half, one of the rarest drops you can get from any monster in the game. And this was after getting several DDS's D helms and BS items from KK. Really rare items, but unfortunately not Drygor items. And this just topped it all off. And by this point, I just wanted to smash a brick wall with my bare fists. I didn't want to show it on stream, but I was that frustrated. And Can's death gave me such happiness that you can probably see it on stream. I was jumping up and down, doing all sorts. On the
Hey,
thing.
thanks, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that was about it. Let's do this quickly because Can has something to announce to you guys.
Well, yeah, before we do that.
Yeah, he died again, didn't he?
I did. He did. He died again. He got PK'd again. So I just quickly left for another team because I wanted to avoid this roulette. Zen was approaching. I was like, oh no, I am not doing this. I quickly went to the forums, searched for a team, couldn't find one there, spammed a bit in the clan, finally found a team, and managed to clinch it right at the end as Zen was on his... I think you were on the last phase of your 4th kill. I was on the
last phase of my 4th kill when Ken got his last kill. So that was really close in the end, but grats to Team Ken.
The funny thing is, with my kill, it was... I think, had I died that kill, you would have won because I was out of food, basically. I had one brew and a half left. I had no prayer, and we were really struggling in terms of DPS for that last round. I think it was mainly my fault because it was a 5-man team, but yeah, managed to clinch it in the end, and it was a great event overall. So we'd like to thank everyone who came, and making this year a great year.
A great year for Canman and for Team Zen. Don't worry about it. It was pretty close, but we competed in the right spirit. Although we did troll and abuse Canman, we shouldn't have done that.
But it's all part and parcel of this event, to be honest. So in the end, it's only a game. There to have fun. That was part of the fun, and that's all there is to it. But now we move on to the second topic of this video, which might not be as fun to some of you, unfortunately. For some of you, you're still thinking, who is this Cam person anyway? So to this, I will give you an answer. I have decided that a lot of you will have noticed that I'm not really that active on YouTube. It's not really noticed. It's been pointed out quite a lot of time. The reason for that is because I'm not really active on RS either. If I was still playing RS that much, I would be a lot more active on YouTube like I did in the early days. However, it's not really feeling the same as it did before to me. I'm not really having that much fun. So I've decided that I will complete my current goal, my only current goal of maxing, not comping unfortunately. I'll be going for max, and then I say I will be quitting, but it's not really quitting. I will be coming on to play from time to time, meeting up with a couple of friends, but it definitely won't be anywhere near as active as I used to be, or even now. Maybe once every couple of weeks or once every week or so, just come on for a few hours and play with some people and meet up with my friends. Other than that, I'm really taking a step back from all this, and that's all really. So I will be working on maxing for this holiday, so expect my I say road to comp cape, road to comp minus comp requirements cape, being the max cape, of course.
Yeah.
And
well, it's been a long time coming. We've had a lot of conversations, me and Canman, behind the scenes about this. I've tried to force him at the start, but that was not the right way to do it. We have to let him go about what he wants to do, and now he's a free man.
I think I'm just the type of person that if you try to force me to do something that I don't like, I just kind of try to avoid it until it goes away, which really doesn't work, believe me. That's also known as procrastination. It really doesn't work, and yeah, in the end I'm just gonna stop, but I will be coming on to play with my RS friends. It's great. RS has
He's
been
definitely
great.
got a max though, so that's a good thing that you're doing that. At least they're entertaining the viewers for a little bit more before you die.
Yeah.
Well, not die. But and that the deadline is the 31st of January. But I won't make any big deal out of it because I don't want. It'll be a massive thing for you to even log on these days from now on. And thank you, Can, for all those good memories of Canvas Zen 2014, and as well as everything else across the time. I think this video has been quite long, so I guess we can stop it there. You can probably expect. I don't know if you're still gonna do Road to Comp Cape episodes before you. By the time before.
I will try to do those. Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it, I guess. Sad day, but a happy day as well. Yeah,
for those people that won't really actually watch this part, I doubt they will really notice any difference for a long time.
So if you guys could inform them, if they ask in the comments, where is Canman in all our videos? If the guys that watch this all the way,
just reply, who's Canman? I'm sure they'll just be like, oh, must have been an imaginary character. I never really saw him that much anyway.
Yeah, so, as for Diver Next Bro, Can has decided he's going to give up on that, I think.
Yeah, I think it simply takes too much time. I definitely won't be able, realistically, I won't be able to commit to the hundreds of hours that it still requires to actually finish the series. And it will just be hundreds of hours of doing the same thing repetitively.
However, I don't intend to finish that because Farabora has agreed to tank and do that series and rename himself Canman X2 for that series. So I'm not sure if he's going to go ahead with it.
So if any of you have wanted to see a Canman that didn't suck, maybe just
you're
wait
number
a
one
little
tank,
bit.
mate. Number one tank.
Yeah, but when Zen says that I don't intend to finish that, he means he will finish the actual series. He doesn't intend to cancel the series.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, and I'm not a fan of Can giving away his next items out of the ones he's earned. So we'll have to give that part to Can. No way am I compromising on that part. But, yeah, that's about it, guys. Any final words to add?
Yeah, I just like to, out of the bottom of my heart, if anyone's still watching from the old days, or even if you've just recently subscribed and watched some of my videos, if you'd enjoyed them, posted comments and in any way found them useful, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I really appreciate the support you've given me over the literally years, and it's been a great time overall, so thank you.